right? So there's some options here. We quickly went through all of the roles, but I want you to really spend some time looking at that and talking to your teammates to figure out what's best for the team, right? And right now, you know, if you're a faculty member, you might be working on getting a grant in and you've got 3 classes and whatever the case may be, you can't do X right now that's due in August. That's okay. Figure it out, talk with each other, and make sure you can meet all the deliverables, okay? If you are a faculty team, one in particular, Nima Life, I'll use you as an example. One of the contingencies on this team is that immediately we are going to find and figure out a plan for them to turn this team over. They're both researchers. They're not going to want to run the company full-time. So that means that we need job descriptions and we need to help them as mentors to figure out by month 6 who they're going to turn this company over to, right? So that's part of their milestones, and they're going to assume the responsibilities of these roles just to form the company, get it all set up so that it's attractive to recruit the right management team that will then go out and raise money for them. Does that make sense? Okay. So this conversation about the founders agreement and who has equity and what is a big one, okay? I don't expect you to be experts, but at least be familiar so that when you are talking about it with your mentors, that it's not a foreign language. It's not speaking a different language, that you can at least be familiar with some of the terminology. That's the biggest challenge. Robert mentioned it earlier. You know, he's not an expert in a technology, but take 15, 20 minutes. And that goes both ways, from the mentors to the teams to the mentors. There needs to be a circle of trust in understanding that one is going to speak Greek and one's going to speak Chinese for a while until you're both learning through the program what needs to be done and how to get this team there, okay? Accelerator, TTU Accelerator startup milestones in number 2, right? There's some resources for company names, business structure. All of these links are not too lengthy. You can spend some time on them. They're great resources. The Small Business Association has great resources. Get a tax ID, create a bank account, and how to do that. All of that is listed there. So get familiar with that. Trademark registration. So you're all going to create a logo. You should all have a trademark. How to do that, what that is, why is that important? Well, because you don't want to create something that someone else has. You need to do a search. All of that stuff might seem a little bit tedious, and it is. I'm not going to lie, it is. But it's really important to start off on the right foot. Okay, so spend some time on those links. And then milestones. Innovate TTU Mentor Program Resource. That's a link to our bios for all of our mentors. I believe they're all up, Tasha. We have 46 mentors, we have 46 bios.
We have 44, but the 2 are turning theirs in.
Okay, so the way the bios work is there's 3, we ask them 3 functional, what their 3 functional expertise areas, and then 3 industry areas. And then a short 150 page, or 150 word, not page. I mean, they're accomplished. I mean, I have to really, but 150 words. So that's just the preview. Get on the phone, email them, call Tasha, call me, call someone, and we'll make sure that you get matched to the right group. Talk to them, interview them. They're expecting you to, right? You want good fit. That is as important as the expertise, right? Please put together your mentor team list on a Word document and tell us who your lead mentor choice is, right? And that means you've asked them to be your lead mentor, because some don't have the time. There's more effort for a lead mentor involved, and they're sort of your go-between with the program, right? That person really has to get along with the CEO well. So you might want to have a face-to-face conversation with them. Communication is key in that relationship. They're going to be your biggest advocate if there's any challenges with your team along the way. Draft your first mentor meeting agenda and draft your first 2 to 3 open-ended business model canvas customer discovery questions. Okay? Some of you have gone through I-Core. How many of our teams have gone through regional I-Core? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you three are going to be the stars and can help the other teams to form their questions or give feedback during the first hub camp. Okay, so how to ask the right questions is almost as important as knowing the answer. Okay, so please take a look at that. Mentors, you have the syllabus so that you can also click on the links and learn what they're learning if you need to, and see what they're learning when throughout the program. That's really important. We don't want to ask them things or challenge them too early. It can be overwhelming, but you can kind of see when they're learning what they need to know. And if they're tracking quicker, that's okay. Some of these teams are a little bit more advanced than others, but we just want to make sure that they're getting good advice when they need it. Not too late in the game and not too early in the game. Our tempo was a little bit challenged last time, and I think we've learned a lot as a program and as mentors so that we can pace everyone the way we need to. Okay? All right, any questions before we switch gears to Weston and Mike on I-Corp? Priya?
We want them to each session there's homework.
Yes.
If they need to finish the homework, if you have in session, but that's the homework we need to finish and count it.
Right, that's the homework you need to finish when you come to this session. So we've got readings, they're not challenging, I promise. And if you are a regional I-Corps team and gone through it to nationals, you may have already read and saw the videos, which is good, you're ahead of the game. If you haven't and you're a mentor and you're not familiar with it, I think the videos are fantastic videos. The business model canvas, how they walk you through, they're 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. You can be ready for a mentor meeting in a matter of a half an hour. If you know, just to know what they've gone through and what they're learning. And so you can speak that language. This is our way of hopefully leveling the playing field between the sort of where the teams are versus where the mentors are. All right, Weston, Mike? I don't know who's first. All right, this is Weston, Waldo, if you don't know him. He is our I-Corps guy.
Okay, so like Kim had mentioned, I'm the I-Corps guy at Texas Tech. So thank you so much for wanting to be here and to come and learn more about the program and how we integrated it into the Texas Tech Accelerator program. So really, what the I-Corps program is, it's a team of 3, which consists of an entrepreneurial lead, which is typically a postdoc or a student, someone that's highly technical. You have a PI, which is your faculty member at the university, but the third piece, and the absolute most critical piece, is the mentor, which is why we're so excited to have you guys today. And so the mentor of the team goes alongside this early stage team with answering the question, is there even a problem that my technology can solve? Right? And so to do that, the I-Corps program challenges these academic teams to go out into what's called customer discovery. And so talking to your customers, and before you even create a prototype, and before you invest dollars, we're challenging the teams, or the NSF is challenging teams to go out and actually talk to them before they do their research, or even create their company and potentially waste time and money and so forth. So that being said, that's the I-Corps program. So really, first of all, I want to thank you guys. So we should give the mentors a round of applause. So let me give a round of applause. Some of these stats that Texas Tech has done, so we've sent over 17 teams to the National I-Corps program, which equates to over $850,000 that has been raised by these teams. And that's a direct reflection of a healthy mentor program, and thanks to mentors like you, because this would not have been possible without you guys joining the team. I won't tell you the time commitment yet, but with making the time commitment and really pushing them forward. And the results you can tell. And so over 2,000 customer interviews, roughly that number has been done because of that. So that's a big deal. So thank you guys so much for agreeing to help out and to come alongside this program. Okay, so why does this program exist? So NSF began to ask the question, well, we've invested billions and billions of dollars into this basic research, but what's going on? So they began to ask the question, how can we increase the economic impact of the research dollars that are invested every year, right? So how can we begin to see a return on our investment on the pure science that's being invested in. So I-Corps was seen the vehicle to do that. Okay, so in January of 2017, actually I-Corps became law. So it's now under the Obama administration. It was signed into the American Competitiveness Act, where now over 8 new agencies have adopted this program. So NSF was the pilot that led it off in 2013, and now ever since then, it's now become law, and it's now adopted by all the major federal agencies. Okay, so it's not I-Corps, right? It's pronounced I-Corps. And so really, the NSF program is designed to increase the economic impact, right, for the research dollars that are expended with your tax dollars, essentially. So that's what the program is. So it's evidence-based. It's an intensive program that prepares scientists and engineers to extend their focus beyond the laboratory. So oftentimes, a lot of the teams that I see, or that come through the program, it's typically step one. Typically, the teams that come through our program and go through the national program, it's, hey, I've discovered something really cool from these research dollars, and now I want to learn how can I commercialize it. And so really, it's taking an evidence-based approach, so actually talking to your customers and taking that information back, basically what they identified, what the real problems were, and taking that research back and coming up with solutions to that. That way, you're creating something that someone's going to actually want to buy, right? And so that's what we mean by evidence-based, where instead of creating something that you think someone's going to buy, but you actually have the evidence that's going to support that. Okay, so some of the I-Corps outcomes, the first one is new startup business creation, so starting a new venture around your idea. The next one is a technology licensing strategy, finding a larger company to pick it up, or some kind of licensing play around that. But the third, and equally as important as this, is abandon. So what we mean by abandon is you decide, hey, no one actually has a problem. What I think is so cool and innovative, actually, when I went and talked to my customers, it didn't really matter. They didn't care. So all three of these are equally accepted. The third one especially. So NSF is good about it. So if you get into the national program and you get that $50,000 investment and you abandon it, you don't have to pay that back. They applaud you for that because it's no longer resources and time of the faculty and their dollars and taxpayer dollars that are being wasted on research that no one cares about, essentially. So those are the outcomes. So this is huge. Texas Tech is one of 7 nodes, so NSF I-Corps nodes in the country. We're a node with 5 other partners in the Anderson, University of Texas, Texas A&M, and Rice University. And what's so special about that is that we're essentially leading the nation in what the I-Corps program is offering. So being the forefronts of that. So we help to identify and help to run what's called these regional I-Corps programs. And so regional I-Corps programs give faculty this opportunity that maybe don't have significant research funding that's supporting them, and it gives them an opportunity to go off and still participate in the program. But Texas Tech is a pretty big deal in this. We're on the forefront of what I-Corps is doing. Okay, so the teaching team is comprised of myself, Priya Gill, Mike Ryan, Connie Wharton, Dr. Ron Bannister, and Dr. Stephen Bain. But the great thing of what you can take away from this, it's a combination of faculty from the business school, faculty from Texas Tech, Health Science Center, and community, and possibly you if you're interested as well. And so one of the great things is we wanted it to be peer-to-peer. So faculty to faculty talking to, or potentially people from the mentor group that could be advocates to help bring on other mentors for their project, essentially. So that's what the teaching team is based around. And like what's being said, to even be an ITT mentor, a lot of them have previous entrepreneurial background and experience that had led them to wanting to help other teams go through the same footsteps as them. Okay, so the difference between the national and the regional program. So like I mentioned too, nationals, it has $50,000. It's offered 4 times a year, different cohorts around that. Really, it's a deeper dive to the business model canvas, like what we've been talking about. So you're doing over 100 customer interviews to take that deep dive approach into what is my business model, how am I going to move forward. So really identifying pathways to market, that's really what you're doing. You're testing the various strategies that's going to lead you to the most successful outcome for bringing your technology to the market. 7 weeks long, and the last part is the mentor is required. That's the key thing. A lot of times after the regional program, we'll have a team of 2, and it's a spread to how can we complete the team so they can go to nationals and find that mentor piece. Whereas the regionals, this is what we do in-house at Texas Tech. Basically, 2 or 3 times a year, we'll go out and send an invitation out to the faculty to recruit them, bring them through the process. It's a little bit easier to digest, I guess, in the national program, but it's a way for the faculty to get their feet wet before they dive into a national program. So really, it's 25 interviews. That's the requirement of our 2.5 to 3 week program. No NSF award is you can basically come as you are with an idea. We focus on the introduction to the methodology, and that's key. Because iCore's got a real specific way that they teach it. And so this is just an introduction of this is what the program is going to be like. So essentially, instead of going straight to the nationals at a much intensive level, you get a chance to try it out. Maybe this isn't for you, but it's a way to try it out to see this is something that I want to do really well. It's an opportunity to establish NSF lineage. So this is key. So for anyone that's talking to faculty, they may have won awards in NIH, DoD, Department of Energy, USDA, and so forth. They can come through our regional program, and if they're recommended, they can then get access to the national program. Whereas the traditional route is you had to have won an NSF award previously to gain that lineage. So that's a pretty key factor that's a huge value to the faculty. And then of course, we don't require a mentor at the regional, but it's highly suggested. And so we think that by having a mentor join the team at that early stage, it helps make that transition so much smoother as they go into the national program to build that teamwork around it. Okay, and so really, this is what the book, that's kind of the center of the program. It's the Lean Startup. This is a way you can get it on Amazon, but we offer the book to you guys. I think we've got tons in our office, and I think if you were invited onto the mentor team or you're in it, you should have gotten one from us too, but this is a critical thing. And then like Kim had mentioned, the venturable videos. This is a huge thing that iCore presses on for you guys to learn as you guys move forward on the program. And so before I pass it on to Mike to go deeper down into what the business model campus is and how the process works, I want to invite each mentor today to consider helping it in one of 3 ways to the program. Really either serving on the teaching team, helping out in a regional program, at that early stage level, or simply helping out with a national program. Yeah. so each one is definitely a different level of time commitment, but it's definitely, this is a program that it's on the ground level for the faculty that are saying, hey, I want to do this, and it's kind of the vehicle that we see to make them happen to do that. So if it's something that you're considering or of interest to you, I'd love to talk to you after this to get you involved in our upcoming regional program in August to get you plugged into it. So thank you, and just want to introduce Mike. So, come on, Mike.
Okay, so before I get started, I want to make one comment.